Thailand is facing extreme weather conditions with temperature reaching the highest ever recorded. Authorities warn that the heat may last until next week and instruct residents to remain indoor. To hear the latest development, we are joined by Tulip Naksompop Blauw from Thai PBS. Good afternoon, Tulip. Can you please tell us more about the situation in Thailand? And first of all, we are glad to have you here. Thank you for coming to TVRI World. I'm sorry, I think we are having some technical difficulties with the sound.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi, good evening. We actually got warning like today. They predicted that the sun will be directly above us at noon. So a lot of people know that they have to avoid sunlight during noon. But like you report in your program, that the hottest day so far this year in Thailand was April 15, where we have 44.6 degrees Celsius in Tak province. And that is the same as 2006 in the same month, but that year it was in Mae Hong Son province. So if we look back in our little record, we will see that the north and the lower north of Thailand will be the area that always hit a higher temperature when compared to other provinces in the country.
So you mentioned before that the north and lower north parts of Thailand is usually where there's most heat in the country. So how does the heat affect the lives of everyday Thais?
I would have to say that like many other countries in Southeast Asia, most of the time it's hot and humid, but this summer it's just extreme heat, especially this year. So a lot of people kind of brace for it already. So they try to stay indoor, but in the effect, a lot of people that started to complain that their March electricity bills going up really bad, like double the usual amount. And in the effect of that, the government actually said, okay, we will try to subsidize some of the electricity bill. And they said that because we will have election in May 14. So the caretaking government cannot really just authorize the subsidy. So now they have to ask permission from the election commission to do that, because otherwise it might be categorized as some kind of election campaign and whatnot. But I think I can safely say that most Thai people know how to deal with the heat. It just every year we just ask ourselves whether we're going to get used to this, and of course we never get used to it. It's always 40 something, and we have death report fatalities like this year. So far we have only 2 known reported, but I'm sure by the end of the summer, which is just several weeks ahead, we will have the official number. In average in Thailand, on the record, official number is about 33, 34 people die from extreme heat. But in real life, I think there is probably more, but it's underreported.
So in real life, there are probably more of casualties, but the numbers are not yet known until now, as you said, until in the next few weeks. Why do you think, Tulip,
Yes.
I'm curious, that the weather has been extremely high in this past season and also in the past couple of years in Thailand? Are there any particular reasons for these extreme spikes in the heat and in the weather?
I think it's the same as many other countries in the world that we're experiencing climate change, right? And the temperatures going up every year, a little more every year. And it's expected to be, we break the record almost every 1 or 2 years, which is actually concerning. A lot of people kind of get the idea that this is about the climate change. We, luckily in our country, we don't have the people that deny this theory. And a lot of people are aware that this is what's happening, and there's a lot of people that are trying to do something to make a change that hopefully able to reduce the effect of climate change. But we cannot avoid it. It's what's happening around the world. Climate change, hotter every year.
And talking on the topic of climate change, coming up next is actually the El Nino that has been in discussion with a lot of, especially climate change figures, which is estimated to occur in June. What are the steps that are taken by authorities currently in order to mitigate the harsh climates and that is brought by El Nino?
June is actually already the beginning of our rainy season. But like they said, it's like you reported that the Meteorological Department of Thailand already said that they predict that there will be another wave of hot weather in June. And so far, the government hasn't done anything to really deal with that, just beside the warning. But mind you, because we are during the election campaign season, and we will have election in next several weeks. A lot of people that oversee a lot of government units are just busy with the politics right now, campaigning to be exact. So we don't really have anything unusual prepare for the coming up heat.
And how is the average citizens dealing with the situation? Are there any special policies that are implemented for people or populations that are more vulnerable, such as children or the elderly, especially dealing with this extreme heat in concentrated areas in Thailand?
So, like when I told you that there are two known reported deaths of extreme heat this year, one of that is heat stroke by a very famous politician, also a racing car driver in Thailand. And his death in March actually bring more awareness to the heat stroke. So after that, in an effect of that, actually, a lot of health department, especially public health ministry, come out and give warning to people to be mindful of their own health, to stay hydrated, to stay out of the direct sunlight, and to observe themselves whether they are having anything that might become heat stroke or something that will be harm to their health because of the heat. So we people are more aware of the heat stroke this year because of the famous people that die of it. But in general, we, like I said, we deal with the heat every year. There is nothing more that people prepare from the normal summer in Thailand. Hopefully, the fatality will not be more than last year.
I see. And lastly, my question would be, what would be the hope of citizens of Thailand that the government what can the government improve so it can better deal with these extreme climate weather, especially because you said that this is not irregular, it has happened in the last couple of years. So what would be the hope of Thai citizens that the government can better improve the situation of lives to deal with the situation?
I think we can look at the whole picture of how we can deal with the environment and how can we mitigate the disaster that might come from the climate change. And there are a lot of civil society and activist group that actually try to be more active and pressure the government to be more serious about implementing all these measures about environment and climate change. But if you talk to the environment ministry, he will say that we are serious about it. We have mandate, we have policy, we are on our way to make that happen. But as a normal citizen, I don't really see. I see more people aware of it, but I don't feel any policy change in the way the government deal with things. But actually, I talked to the Bangkok governor not too long ago, Bangkok itself actually has a very ambitious goal to have all the schools, all the official buildings, and everything run by Bangkok office to be zero emission in years 2030. So we have 7 years from now. So Bangkok city itself is trying to make something different, and we hope that it might expand to cover the whole country in the future. But right now, though it's very hot in Thailand, I would say more people concerned about the dust. We have really bad problem with PM 2.5 this year because of the slash and burn tactic in the north of Thailand. And they are trying to see whether government can do anything. And it's probably also involves the law enforcement and all that, but there's not much has been done.
I see. Well, I hope that in the future, as you said, what is being implemented in Bangkok can furthermore be implemented to the rest of the areas in Thailand, and as well to deal with the dust that is the main concern of the city currently. Well, Tulip, thank you so much for coming to TVR World. Thank you for your expertise. And now let's move on to our next news item.
Thank you.
Thank you.